The show opened with Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley with this was an excellent match. Really, really enjoyed this. Flair kicked out of the Riptide, and Charlotte tapped out Ripley with this sort of like really very high bridging figure eight. And it was back and forth action. It made Ripley look like an absolute superstar. And do you know what? I mean, I may get some heat for this, but I do think Charlotte winning the title was the right call.
Yeah, me too. This is the kind of this is the biggest backlash I've seen to something that I think is good. This is what I've got a lot of kind of people kind of slamming me for, because I also think that Charlotte in NXT is a good thing. I think Charlotte's done everything she can on the main roster for now. I think Rhea's done everything she can in NXT. Absolutely swap them over, and all that matters is that the match is good, and the match was great, genuinely like up there with Charlotte Asuka. You know, exactly same really high bridge on the figure eight. They worked. It was almost even better just because the sheer amount of limb work, like the psychology in this match was so strong, working the left knee constantly, Rhea kind of screaming her way through the pain. Not, you know, Charlotte can't put her away for ages. And then finally, because Rhea's human and 23 and everyone loses sometimes, she lost in a really competitive match on the biggest stage of them all. Anyone who uses the term burial to describe this match doesn't know what burial means.
This was not a burial whatsoever. Ripley got so much out of this match. Like this really legitimized her. I think for a lot of people, you know, and I think this made her look absolutely awesome in defeat. And yeah, like Charlotte going to NXT, you know, they haven't beaten AEW in the ratings all year. And I think they're looking for something that can completely freshen it up. But also, like, Charlotte on Raw can't be the top star because Becky's the top star. And if Ronda comes back, that's just going to push Charlotte down even further. She could go over to SmackDown, but that's very much in sort of like the Bayley Banks wheelhouse at the moment. So yeah, go to NXT and be the top star down there instead, where you're not sort of competing against other people for that top position. Also now, she can use her star power to elevate people like Io Shirai, Dakota Kai, Mia Yim, Shotzi Blackheart, Kylie Ray, Viper. There's like a whole list of stacked talent down in NXT UK that Charlotte can now work with, and you know, make them into even bigger stars than they already are.
Yeah, I like look at the Funhouse match. A Funhouse match, if anything, is a shining example of how you can get beat, but it can become part of a much bigger story in the end. Like, I don't think this is the last time that Rhea and Charlotte will fight. Like, nope. I think when Charlotte eventually finishes up her tour of NXT, she's going to come back, and what everyone's going to want to see is Rhea kick her ass. And I think they'll do that because, yeah, like it's all just about how you use the story elements. And so far, yeah, you've got this element of Rhea, you know, coming up against one of the greatest women wrestlers in the history of wrestling, and not being able to get the job done this time. And how does that change her?
Yeah,
I think it's fantastic. Really, absolutely the right call.